favorite humans. How are you guys? Alright, so today I am going to be making some super fun little crafts. Yesterday, the cards I made were kind of fairy door themed. I was not really sure if you guys were going to like them, but apparently you guys love them, which is awesome. I love that. So hopefully you'll like my ideas today. Yay! So the crafts today are going to be star themed. Yes, I love everything star related. So I'm doing black cards, okay? So if you want to write on the black card stock, you're going to need a white or a silver or a gold pen, which I do sell. I sell them for $3.89 a piece, just so you know. I'm not sure I have all the colors in. I think I have white and gold in at the moment, but I can always order silver. Okay, so we are going to be working on one card at a time here. So I'm going to start with the little gold card. As always, you get envelopes with your cards. So I really wanted to make a card that features my most favorite thing. I have so many most favorite things. I'm sure you guys are like, Ellie, you have a lot of favorite things. But it's my favorite product I carry. Star-shaped glitter! I transferred it to this different container here. And then this. And so I have silver star-shaped glitter and gold star-shaped glitter that I'm going to be using today. And they're both holographic, meaning that they pick up whatever color that they're next to. So I could put the color next to a blue or next to a pink or next to a purple, and the color will always show up beautifully next to that. And they show up stunningly awesome on black paper. So for doing this little craft, I'm going to get my craft mat out here because we're going to be using some glue. Okay, so some of you are going to probably recognize some of my styles of putting cards together because I like to do fun folds and different things, but I'm going to teach this one again because I thought this was just so much fun. So this star shape here, in case you're wondering, you're welcome of course to star die cuts, but this is actually a hand punch. And I love it. It's really easy to use. You just hold it, put your paper, underneath it, and you just punch out your shape. I'm not going to punch this out, but it's really easy to see where you're getting the word, like what you're punching out, so you could line it up with a word. Of course, the reach isn't quite long enough, but you get what I'm saying. So, I just popped a couple of the stars out of the gold mirror card paper. So what I'm going to do first here is I'm going to close my card, and I'm going to decide where I want to put my star. I'm going to put it right here in the middle, right here on this fold edge, and so I'm going to line that up so it's going to be nice and straight and perfect with the top of my star right down to that little crease right there. And so I'm going to apply some glue. Oh, no! No! Why are you clogging? Oh, it's because my other glue is out in the other room. No! Okay. I'm going to do this thing where I'm going to pause this like super fast. Let's see if I can pause it. No, I think I'm back. I am back. Okay, great. Perfect. I think you guys had a little noise, but for the most part it was only half a second. All right. I was using this glue earlier. So, okay. Here we go. So I'm going to go ahead and just put glue only on half of the star. Okay, see how this half over here does not have glue on it? So I'm only putting glue on this half right here. That's the half I'm going to glue down. Okay, right on. So when I close my card, okay, it's only on this left half that I'm putting this. Sorry, yeah, for you it's probably the right half. Okay, so it's lining up with the top of the star and with a little crease down there at the bottom. Alright, so then when you close it over, you can see that is right in the middle. Okay, so then what we're going to do is on this side, we're going to make sure that there's no glue, or if there is any glue, that you wipe that off so it's nice and dry. Then we're going to put a star that's matching it on the other side, but we're not putting any glue right here. We're only going to put glue right here on this half. Whoops. This half of the star there. Okay. So then as we lay it down, and that matches up nicely, what's going to happen, we'll just let this dry for just a moment here, is that it's going to create a little pocket, a little slit right there between the two. So you can see how it's gold on one side and gold on the other now. But there's actually a little slit in here that we've created that does not have any glue in it. And you can just slide your card right, whoops, of course it slipped on me. You just slide your card right in there like that. Isn't that cool? And it stays all on its own, which is great because then it actually stands up on its own as well, but it stays closed, you guys. So that's the trick about making a card that has that kind of fun fold on the front that has a little focal point, but then you just cut out 2 of that and make a quick little pocket for that to slide into, which I just thought was so fun. It's such a great way to do that. So then when we're decorating the front of the card, you can just close this while you're decorating the front. I'm just going to press that down right here. Should probably use a scoring tool, but I didn't. Okay, so now on the front of the card, this is where we're going to glue our little gold stars here. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and pour some of those out over here. All right, and now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do tiny little dots of glue. I really don't need very much glue. And now you can decide what you kind of want to do here. You can either do individual stars where you just pick up, you might want to lick your finger, pick up 1 star at a time and literally just set it on there, which is fine. For me personally, I'm going to do more star groupings, where what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to sprinkle this on here completely, and then I'm going to shake it off. And then the stars are going to kind of all stick in groupings on the paper here. I'm going to do that again. So then that way I get lots of stars onto my paper. So I've created kind of star clusters. Okay. Then I give you guys a ton of stars. There should be plenty for this project. Okay. Okay, shake that around a little bit. Might need to pick up, yep, we'll just do that. Pick up several at once. We'll do it a few more times. Okay. All right. Kind of flick the paper there to pull off any excess. Oops. Okay. All right, so now this is what the front of your card looks like. Oh, so magical. Okay, so now that we made a disaster with the stars. All right, so then on the inside of the card, okay, so now this is where this little string comes in handy, okay? So I'm gonna set this aside so that those stars on there can dry. So on here, what we're gonna do is we're gonna be, well, we're actually going to come back to this part. We're actually going to go in and we're going to glue some strings to our stars because we're going to make little dangly stars, you guys. Hanging stars hanging on the card. Oh, well, the idea is that they're faux hanging. They're not really going to be hanging. So to do that, what we're going to do is we're going to put some glue on the back side of each of these little stars here. Okay. All right. Then you're going to have your pieces of twine here, and you're just going to cut your twine up into the varying lengths because you don't want them to all be the exact same length. And then you're just going to stick your glue onto each of those little your little pieces of twine onto your little dots of glue there. Okay. All right. You may need to hold it in place for about 10 seconds, or you might be able to set it into that little, depending on how much glue you squirt out, you might be able to just set it into your little bit of glue there and it might just stay in place. Okay. Kind of depending on what glue you're using. All right, so once we've laid those all down, oh, I'm going to need one more. Okay, so you're not going to use up all the string, but that's all right, no problem. Okay, so now once you have little twine attached to each of your stars here, now we're going to go back to our card, and of course we're going to dangle our little stars. So I am going to kind of place these where I want them, and if you have some glue that's still wet on the back of your star, this is perfect because you can just stick them down. If you don't, you may need to apply a little bit more. And then you're just going to stick them down here, and the idea is that they're either, the twine is either going to go to the very top or just a little bit over, okay? So there you go. So the twine part is not being glued down. It's just the star part. All right. Oh gosh, this is just so precious already. I am already absolutely loving this. So this is a very Ellie card. I know some of you guys are like, oh my gosh, this is so Ellie. It totally is. I love it. It makes me very happy. It's just so joyful. And like if you have like little fairy stamps or like little fun little magical things you can incorporate in here, other fun little things. Oh, there's so many options. I'm just saying like little gnomes, little mushrooms you can have down here at the bottom. You can do like a little happy birthday sentiment. You could stamp more stars. Kind of do whatever you would like there. Okay, and my last little one's going to go up here. All right. So you can see I kind of staggered them. I didn't like line them straight like across. I kind of did like kind of up and down, and my strings of course are kind of flailing in the wind here. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to use our black pieces of paper, our black little quarter-inch piece of paper here. We're going to glue this at the top of each of these little panels, and that's going to give us, make it so that we can glue our little threads in place. Okay, so I'm just going to trim this so that it's about that width there at the top. I usually just kind of hold it in place, use my fingernail to kind of make a mark. You can use a pencil or a ruler to line that out. Then what I'm going to do here is I'm going to do just a little line of glue. I'm going to bring my little twine pieces up, and I'm going to kind of hold them straight across the top here so that they're nice and taut. Okay, and if you need to hold them in place, you can do that too. And then I'm going to put my black piece of paper here, and it's going to completely cover up the glue, and it's going to cover up my little pieces of twine here. And this is nice here that if you did it over, you did your twine over a little bit, you can actually, as your black paper is in here, you can kind of pull this over and kind of make it so that they're nice and straight. So that's another great reason to have those up at the top there. Okay, I hope you guys saw what I just did. Okay, and don't worry, I'll do it again. So right here at the top, I'm kind of adjusting and pulling my strings straight. Once they are nice and straight, well actually I'm going to let that dry completely, just in case I need to adjust those later. Okay, so now we'll do the next one here at the top. Again, we're going to do a nice line of glue here. We're going to bring all of our thread pieces up to the glue. We're going to go over the glue. And then we're going to do our black piece of paper here. Whoops. My star did not dry, I see. Okay. I'm just going to measure here with my finger. All right. And lay that down right here. Now the reason I did not do a whole strip and just do little fold lines in the middle is because then it makes it so the card doesn't want to stay fold. It just wants to like continue to open up. Okay, so then once I have my my black paper glued down, I'm going to hold that in place. I'm going to pull up on my little threads here just a little bit, and that's just going to make them so those are nice and straight. You may need to find that you need to glue down your stars a little bit tighter there. All right, and now we'll do our last one here at the top. And oops, I'm going to lay this down, and then I'm just going to lay the black on top of that, and then I'll trim it off of the edge. There's no point in trying to trim that down to size when I can just line that up and trim it off of the edge. Okay, I'm going to hold my black piece of paper in place and pull up my little strings again. All right, there we go. Okay, all right, and I'm going to trim this. Whoops. I got stars on the back. Oh no, that was on there on purpose. Stars on the back. There we go. All right, and then here I'm going to go ahead and trim these guys down. Trim off all those tiny little pieces there. Easy enough to do. All right. There we have it. Oh, so cute. The Make-A-Wish inside, and then when you close it, then of course you have your stars in the front. And now this is an opportunity to go back in and you can add stars in extra places if you want. If you want to just kind of do a few more kind of here and there. Or kind of decide if you need some more kind of star kind of groupings. Kind of depends on how many you feel like you need. All right. Whoops. All right, my friends, and there we have the very first card for today's 2 for $10 crafts. Whoops. Gotta trim my little fuzzies off from my ribbon here. All right. So there is card number 1. Dun, 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 dun. And it says Make a Wish inside, which I already stamped and embossed for you. All right. So there we have it. The first card. On to the next one.